Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and we are going to be going through some pretty awesome stuff. So we have the updates to the next Disney drop, which is going to be Steamboat Willie. I'm going to be going through my predictions on that, as well as tomorrow's comic drop, which is Iron Fist number 13. Is that a comic worthwhile buying, holding, or selling? And I'm also going to be going through my updated strategy that I'm currently using on the market, as well as one additional drop that we did have recently teased, as well as some cool stuff that's been discovered with regards to accessories. So first off, the drop so far with Coca-Cola. So we first found out that Coca-Cola had already done NFTs as a part of an auction. Those NFTs, they go for about $500,000, if not more than that. So they're very, very valuable. But because Coke had already done NFTs, they weren't the FAs on VeVe. However, they are the first edition, so it's the first Coca-Cola series on VeVe. But that being said, the Coca-Cola bear, which is kind of like the one with historical significance, the one that's got the collector value, that one is actually the first time it's ever been produced in any sort of digital collectible format. So the Coca-Cola bear, this is kind of like the first appearance of that bear. And that being said, given just how low this was priced today, I decided to stack up, as you can see. And my plan is just to keep stacking these up, because Coca-Cola, from a brand perspective, is one of the biggest brands in the world. It's actually above Disney on Forbes list of top brands. It's #1 beverage company in the world. So Coca-Cola, even when you take apart the company and all of the companies that they have underneath their kind of brand, the snow globe, specifically this the bear one, is the one that I am targeting. So this is kind of like my current I guess long-term strategy hold. Now moving on, it does actually have one cool interesting feature. If you hold the snow globe in front of certain collectibles, depending on what that collectible has equipped, it can actually remove the equipped item or accessory. So for example, on Deadpool, if you hold the snow globe like shown here, if you click on it and then place it in front of the Deadpool, it actually removes Deadpool's accessory. So you can see his Christmas jumper and his Christmas hat are gone. However, when you move the snow globe away, they reappear. So that goes to show that the hat and jumper, they look kind of strange on him just because they are kind of layered on top. Underneath, he has his original costume. So I believe that there may be a feature where you can just turn the sweater and hat kind of like on and off. So that I think would give more value to the Deadpool, just because people wanted him in his original costume. Well, there you go, you can turn on his original costume, and using the snow globe you can kind of get a sneak peek of what he looks like now. I'm not sure if this works 100%, if this is actually confirmation, because apparently if you do it to Storm, Storm's hair disappears. So I don't think Storm's hair would be removable as an accessory. That would be a bit weird. So try it out with some other collectibles, see what you can find. Now the other drop that I just wanted to touch on is Labbits. Now I made a post a little while ago about collecting completing the final Labbit set that I had. So I'd already completed the first set on the drop day. I only very recently completed the second Labbit set. I was just missing the white backstab, and I've got that now. And that was because I was predicting that there were going to be another set of Labbits drop for Christmas, and it will be linked to some form of airdrop as well. So it's good to see that that was confirmed. There is a third Labbit drop for Christmas, and I think that there will be some form of airdrop, just because this features 4 holiday themed Labbits. Now I believe usually we see about 5 or 6 Labbits in these sets. So the fact that there's only 4, that kind of implies to me that there may be maybe a hidden one that we don't know of yet, and that's going to be airdropped. And that would make sense, because Ron English already did his airdrop, and typically these artists are kind of like the ones that sort of follow each other. And I know Ron English and Frank Oz are kind of comparable artists, so it only makes sense to me that they would also do an airdrop for complete set holders as well. Now the Iron Fist comic for tomorrow, that has a total of 30,000 editions. So typically I see this, if I compare it to the real life version, so number 14 Goes for around about $600-700 if it's an 8.0. So it's not like a fantastically valuable comic, but it's okay. I would say it's kind of like on the slightly lower end of what I'd consider for this time period, the 1970s. But that being said, I would kind of classify this similarly to like the Red Wolf one. So Avengers, I think, yeah, this I see kind of going for typically around about that 15 to 16 gem range for the common after the hype's died down a bit. Because the lower end ones, we see them going for around about 10-11 gems. So I think 15 to 16 for this, it seems to be okay. And I think it will hold there. That's kind of going to be like my prediction. And then the uncommon I think is going to be about 20. The rare probably around about 40. The ultra rare around about 100. And I think the secret rare is going to be going for around about your typical like 600-ish, 500 to 600. And I think that's okay, that's acceptable. Because right now, comics, they're not doing anything too crazy. Prices are fairly, they're fairly decent. Now, Steamboat Willie, this is the one where I think there's going to be a lot of FOMO behind this. So total editions I think is around about 34,000 across the common, uncommon and ultra rare. The common is kind of like the original pose. The uncommon, we've got the whistling one, and then the ultra rare is the animated one, and there are nearly 7,000 editions of the animated Steamboat Willie. So this is going to be in blind box format, which gives everyone a pretty decent chance of getting one. So I'm glad that it's coming out in blind box format, so I'm looking forward to that. Now this is listed at 60. I can see the ultra rare pretty easily going for around about that 400 range. I would potentially put it at higher, but the ultra rare, nearly 7,000 editions, is quite high, and it doesn't have like any specific tag. It's not FA, because VeVe just confirmed that FA Mickey Mouse is actually the Walt and Mickey statue, so this is not going to get an FA tag. It actually doesn't even have an FE tag, so I don't know if this will have some form of tag, but I would say there's a pretty good chance these ultra rares, I think they're going to be going for around about 300 to 400, but and there's definitely room for it to kind of break that between 800 to 1k range over time. But 300 to 400 is what I'm expecting for these to go for on the drop day. So overall I would say that this might not be too expensive of a set to complete, just because there are only 3 collectibles in this set and there's quite a lot of edition sizes. So I think this is going to be a actually surprisingly not that expensive of a set to complete for 3 collectibles. David Yu, he has said that the ultra is going to feature the full animation, which is going to be pretty cool. And actually this uncommon, it was originally a different picture. He had like his eyes open and he was kind of like looking, but they seem to have replaced it. So maybe that original one might be the rare. Maybe they'll be airdropping a rare, who knows. Because it would make sense, there's no rare in this set. I thought that there would probably be 4 boats, but we'll see. I suspect it might actually be some kind of secret drop or an airdrop of some form. But that being said, Steamboat Willie collectibles, they are highly collectible. So I think just because of the content, the historical significance, this one will have, even with the 34,000 editions, this is going to have a lot of demand. Now, lastly, the price of OMI. So if we have a look here, so we had this previous trend line which we're uptrending across. Now if I just extend this, okay, so as you can see, this zone now is pretty much completely confirmed, because I initially believed that up here would be kind of our main point of resistance. That's where we kind of were bouncing along and then pretty much trended downwards. We hit this point of support at about 0.49 cents and then rebounded, and we had a touch here. kind of sort of a touch around this zone, and then again we wicked above and we came straight back down at 0.67. So this zone for me is confirmed. We are going to just continue boxing along here, so up down up down. So I believe we are going to come back down to around about this 0.5 cent range. However, as soon as we come to the new year and the OMI token, all of that details for swapping it are out, I believe we are very easy going to break past this 0.67 range, and I believe we are going to revisit 0.85 range. And once that swap happens, I believe, you know, depending on what exchanges they have lined up, we will hit, you know, the 1 cent and onwards range, and that's kind of where I'm looking forward to, is us breaking that 1 cent range. It's been a while since we've touched that, and we are very, very close now. You know, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the trend line. The 5th touch I think is going to be when we are above 1 cent. When that's going to happen, I feel like it's going to be around about January. That's what I'm feeling, around about January, but that's assuming, you know, they actually go through with the swap during January. Maybe they'll kind of release some information and won't do the swap until like February or March, but they said January, so let's go with January. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Do check out the link below for the community OMI Homie merch. All proceeds do go towards supporting our future events and giveaways. And on that point of giveaways, the winners of the community quiz that we did, they have all been announced, so you can check those out on my Twitter page. I believe the top 3 winners were Cooligan, what's his name, the step guy, he knows who he is, and then there was one more person, I can't remember now, but yeah, they're on my Twitter page. Do check them out, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.